passion, inspiration, determination. Are you ready to jump into a better life? Welcome to our program, Jump Into It, a podcast and live show to help women jump into a better life. Thank you for joining us. And today we have a very special guest, Moira Bush. She has been a past guest of our show, and we had to have her come back because she is so interesting, so fascinating. And she's going to help us set the stage for 2025. And also with me is my co-host, Anita Booth. So let me have the privilege of introducing Moira Bush. She is a color entrepreneur, and she has found an innovative way for us to find purpose through color. Moira Bush, thank you for joining Jump Into It.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Anita, for inviting me. It's lovely to be back. I can't believe it's a year since we got together and we had such fun on that podcast. So
we certainly did.
Yeah. So I thought tonight we could tune into what's kind of been predicted as potential energy and good vibes for 2025, and we can base this on a little bit of numerology. So it's a bit of fun, it's a bit of lightheartedness. And we're going to look at your date of birth, Gabrielle and Anita as well. And the audience tuning in, I'm going to show you how to figure out how to get there. But my background is working with a color mirror system, and there are these beautiful color bottles that just have a story to tell. There's like a message in a bottle. And I discovered in 2008, I started doing it already when I was living in England at the time, that if I looked at the number bottle in the system that corresponds with the year we're in, that bottle told us exactly what's going to happen that year. And every year I've been doing it, and the information that comes through, it just expands. So I now do these prediction classes where I actually have students, and I teach them how to do this, so they can offer these color prediction energy readings for their clients. And it goes from people who are CPAs right down to people who are therapists, to just the ordinary person who just wants to know what to expect in the year ahead. So are we up?
Wow. And how long have you been doing this, Moira?
I've been involved with the color mirror system for about 24 years, and I've been doing the predictions with the system since 2008. So I've been doing it for quite a long time. It actually started where I was going to business networking events, and they had me as the fun end of year event or the fun beginning of the year speaker. And I had them calculate, just as I'm going to do with you today, your year number. And then we had a look at what color was relevant for that year to help you in your business. And and then from there, just did a little bit of predictions based on the colors and the numbers. And voila, just every year it's always accurate. And it always blows my mind just how color is just such a natural tool of information and support for us. While I give this little bit of information, make sure that you have a piece of pen and paper with you, or your calculator on your phone handy, because I'm going to have you calculate your year number in a moment. I know there's this mystical element in these bottles, Anita. I know what you mean, because you bathe in them and something happens. It just absolutely shifts things for people. And they are a little bit of magic in a bottle, I think. And that's probably why I've been working with the system for 24 years with the founder, Melissa Jolly. And I wouldn't know what else to do with my life if I couldn't see the world and what I do through the lens of color. It's quite weird. I remember the very first time I came across the system, and the founder, Melissa Jolly, did a birthday reading for me. So she took my day, my month, and the year I was born, and she laid out the bottles that represented my date of birth. And she just went quietly from one bottle to the next and said, and you're going to have this happen in your life, and you're going to experience this, and you have experienced that. This is your potential. This is who you're going to become. And I just, my jaw dropped. I was gobsmacked. And everything she said happened. Every single thing. And I mean, how could a couple of color bottles tell me my entire life path? But it just did, because it's encoded in our date of birth. Our date of birth is very, very important. It gives us very accurate information and guidance. So I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about 2025?
There's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of change. I mean, on the political landscape, we already know it's there, and it's going to translate to on a personal level too. But I also feel this sense of uncertainty. We know that there's change. We know it's inevitable. How is that change going to impact us? It's going to be a positive, uplifting thing, or is it going to bring us down into more struggles and inward self-reflection? And is it internal growth, or is it now external growth? Are we going to now manifest something better in our lives on a physical level, or is this just going to be more of a spiritual movement? So I think it's probably both. I just hope it's a joy ride and not a scary roller coaster ride.
Anita, what's your take on 2025? What are you expecting?
For me, my astrological sign, I should be going into a very good next 2 year, very financially prosperous, new opportunities, the pinnacle of my career. And I feel that my energy is building towards that. I have been thinking that as I neared the end of 2024, and personally, my focus is to continue to grow, of course, and I love different opportunities. So I am very pumped for that feeling. Now, hopefully, you're gonna confirm that. Don't tell me I'm going the other way, but my energy tells me it's gonna be a fantastic year.
Actually, you two are spot on. I mean, you are so spot on. I might as well just say, let end the podcast, because what you've said is what I'm going to be saying.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me the roller coaster ride is going to be up or down. Wait a minute.
Which one?
Which one is it? Is it a joy ride, or is it a scary hold on for your life? Oh my gosh.
This is the colors for 2025. It is turquoise on the top and yellow at the bottom. So Gabrielle, when you were talking about things flowing, are things going to flow? Is it going to be joy? Those are the colors. Turquoise is about flow and yellow is about the joy. Then you said, well, the political landscape's changing, things are shifting, there's big changes ahead. So these colors in its shadow form also talk about betrayals. So there will be a lot of people getting that little document saying, I want to divorce, I want to go, or secrets are going to come forward, that have been hidden, or things you might have suspected. You're going to get validation that, yes, indeed, there's some kind of betrayal here. If you just have a look at what's happening with the world, I mean, it just feels like everybody's out to betray everybody else. Look at the sanctions and the tariffs and the fees, and everybody wants to slap something on someone else. It's just crazy how that happens. So it does feel like there is that landscape for potential betrayal. The other thing that sits in 25, of course, is these colors are they're the colors that are the prelude to faith. They kind of say, if you can keep your faith, whatever goes on, whatever madness goes on in the world, you will be able to stay in flow and joy. All right. So you kind of need to maybe disengage a little bit from what's happening in the rest of the world, because you can't change that. You can only change where you're at and your micro world. Leave the macro world out there to do what it's doing. And when you add the numbers of 2025 together, it makes the number 9. So we are in a universal global cycle of 9. And in the color mirror system, it is this bottle called Mars, red on top and orange at the bottom. The good news here is whenever 9s come up, or any of you who are going to be in a 9 year, you have endings and new beginnings. It's a culmination of a cycle between 1 and 9. In numerology, everything's between 1 and 9. So it means things are coming to an end that you are done with, and you are being prepared for a 1 year in 2026 where you're going to have wonderful new things to look forward to. The other thing this bottle represents is fire and orange. And, we started this year with a lot of fires and a lot of earthquakes and volcanic activity and that kind of things beginning to happen. Again, those things, it's the phoenix. It's there to burn and clean things up. If you think about the You know, if I just go back to looking at this, the 25 energies, there's a lot of hidden stuff here. Like I said, secrets coming out. There's a lot of hidden stuff here. There's a lot of pretense in this bottle as well. You know, yellow's about the ego. So I pretend to be somebody I'm not. And this bottle, the 9 bottle, the Mars bottle, comes up and says, we will burn down those masks. We will take down the things that you hide behind because it's not real. And where is people more unreal than in Hollywood? Pretend. It's
That's
the
so
land of
true,
pretend.
right?
So it's symbolic,
Yeah.
so symbolic
Yeah.
right at the beginning of the year for this to happen, for the rest of the world to look on it and say, okay, you know, we have to get real with life here. We have to get real with ourselves.
Interesting.
And then there's 2 other 9s in the system that we also look to for information. This is completely clear. It's called a light body. This is a reminder that you need to be in your light. You need to be working through your soul, your spirit light, your light body. You cannot just be working from the material mind, a mindset you have. You have to tune into your heart. You have to tune into your consciousness. And also this bottle says lots of big changes and choices and decisions are going to come up this year. I think the biggest...
What number is that, Moira? What number bottle is that?
It's a C9, yeah. The other one was 9. This is C9. C stands for chakra, so it's a bottle that relates to the body. And then the third one is the G9. G stands for Gaia, and this is called faith. It's pale turquoise, which is so interesting. If you look at 25, can you see the pale version sits there? Pale turquoise, pale gold. So this takes that trust into faith, because that 25 is called trust, and this bottle is called faith. This year, to keep your wits about you and to stay on top of life, you're going to have to base everything on faith, which means you need to the opposite to faith is control. So you cannot control things. Let the flow of the universe and life bring to you what is best for you and run with it. So say yes to opportunities that come up, even if they don't feel quite right or the right fit, or you think you're not ready. Just do it anyway. Have faith that that flow, that turquoise flow, is going to land you where you need to be. So that's kind of the general overall energies that I'd like to share with you for 2025. So is that tying in with how you two are feeling about 2025?
Oh, is that all us?
Yeah. No, we've got to do your individual ones now. That's just the general global
That's
look.
just the general.
Oh, that's just the general. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I did want to mention this one. When you put, because when I put bottles together, let me just get my little white background for you here again. When I put 25 and the 9 together, there sits the Russian flag and the Ukrainian flag.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to come to an end this year. Yeah, it's going to come. The war will come to an end there. Yeah, so there's a lot of hope for that part of the world and that war.
Wow, I just got goosebumps. I just got goosebumps.
And I really like the trust in the faith bottles, and I do feel there's a lot of what internally I feel the narrative I have in my mind is I have to just let it go and have faith, right? Let it go and have faith, because it is true. We tend to really focus on, certain things, and if they don't happen, and the speed of which we, adhere as humans, I think everything has to happen fast. And I think spirit likes to let things happen as they need to happen, and sometimes that is not fast, right? So we think it's not moving, or we think something, or something didn't come through, and that could automatically put your energy frequency in a lower vibration. But trust and faith. So I think, at least in my mind, it's very
trust
poignant.
and faith is trust and faith is how you're going to handle stress in 2025.
Exactly.
Stress only happens because you think you're in control and things aren't going the way you wanted to, so you get stressed about it. So if you want to let go stress, you have to let go control and step into faith. And it sounds simple, but it's something you can practice. And when something comes up when something turns up in front of you and it causes you stress, take a deep breath in and go, I have faith that this is already resolved. It's a huge mantra for me. I get a bill that is huge and I don't have the finances right away to pull it, and I start going into panic and I start stressing. I take a deep breath and go, the universe is bigger than me. It knew this bill was coming. It already has a solution in place. That's faith in action. So a lot of that kind of energy is going to be very useful to have you flow instead of being in stress in 2025.
Very
It's
good.
So it
already
sounds like we've got a lot of reasons there's going to be a lot of obstacles to challenge our faith or to exercise a muscle of being more focused in the position of faith.
Yeah.
Do you think kind of
absolutely.
testing us?
Yeah, and it is a muscle. And yeah, I do believe we have these initiations, these tests to grow ourselves. I mean, you go to school and you have to have an exam to see if you've learned but in your personal growth and your spiritual growth, the test and initiations is about you walking your talk. You can't just say, I have faith, and then the first big thing hits you and you're going to panic and stress. You actually have to use that muscle, like you said. It is a muscle, and flex it and get it strong. Yeah.
In astrology, and again, there's so much connection. There's something called the Saturn return. Moira, you might be familiar with it, but the Saturn return, what it does is at a certain age, and it usually happens 2 or 3 times in somebody's lifetime, and usually around, the time they say 28 to 30, and around 58 to 60, and then again around 90. So it's kind of every 30 years. But what they say with that energy, and there is some Saturn return, I think for me anyways, in my charts, I'm not of that age, but it's still somehow coming into my chart. But what that says is Saturn pushes you to reflect on your life and where you're at. And it challenges, the progress you've made. So, if you're 28 and you're, still sitting in the basement and you haven't, hit that first pinnacle of, I guess, that learning period in your life, it's going to be more it's going to show you, it's going to put, those things that you haven't done, it's going to make it more prominent. And then the second Saturn return talks about, making, changes for your purpose. I think that happens as we get older, right? We're so focused on maybe growing our families and working. And then at a certain age, we think, gee, there must be something more. There must be more purpose in life than just, this daily routine of going to work and raising children. And so I think colors are doing that same kind of, the color mirror makes sense. It's making you face those things in your life that, you don't necessarily have control over. And it really is testing you to see how you're going to react.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's move our audience into a year number and a little personal prediction for each year number. And I'm going to be doing the 2 of you as well. So I'm going to, Anita, your date, I just want the day you are born. So Anita, what is the day you are born?
The number that I was born is 30th.
So Moira, you may want to bring the number, more closer.
I will bring it in.
Okay, there you go.
Right. Yeah,
All
I will
right,
bring it
there
in,
it
but
is.
I can't write this way without seeing what I'm doing. So
All right,
let me flip
okay.
a little bit.
Fair enough.
Okay. And the month, Anita?
05, May.
05. So I want everybody who's watching this to simply write down the day. And I know the American way is to do it the other way around. It doesn't really matter for this calculation, but I like the habit of saying the day I'm born, the month I'm born, and then you're going to put next to that, not the year you were born, but the current year we are in, which is 2025. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just
Yep, there
it
you
looks
go.
like that, okay? Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding up these numbers. And they come to?
I already know my number. Is it 8?
Yeah, it comes to a 17.
Yes. Okay, there we go.
And 1 plus 7 makes 8, because you want to get everything between a number to 1 and 9.
Okay.
Sorry, the screen interferes with it, so I'm hoping the audience can see that. I'll try and hold this still for a moment. So the day, the month, add 2025, come to a number, bring the number down to a single digit between 1 and 9, and yours is 8. 8 is called Saturn.
That's
Oh, look at that. Isn't that
I had no
interesting?
idea that that's what you were gonna say. Is that incredible?
And
Were
you
you
just had
thinking
that long conversation about Saturns. Now you know why. Okay, so what I want to do now is, if you've got your numbers, is and double check the calculation. You don't want to get this wrong, all right? I'm going to just do the numbers from 1 to 9 and do a little brief explanation for anybody who is in a particular number, what they can expect in 2025, and that will be including Gabrielle and Anita's tonight, okay? So those of you who are in a 1 year, you have got yellow bottle and it's called the sun. You see that lovely yellow on yellow, number 1. So those of you in a 1 year, you tend to have a new beginning, a new start, a fresh start. You're number 1 off the block. But the yellow is also about making decisions for your year based on joy. Yellow is about sunshine, joy, happiness, childlike enjoyment of life. So whatever decisions you are going to make this year, make sure that it's for fun. If you come across something that feels like hard work and difficult, let it go. This is a year about being independent. So don't be surprised if this is a year you decide to ditch a partner or a business partnership or a project and kind of hone things down that gives you joy and that gives you a sense of leadership and independence and that kind of personal strength. There's a lot of that happens in a 1 year. In a 1 year is when you beat the odds. So you can invest in something you thought you wouldn't have the money. Maybe you wanted to buy a house and you thought you'd never qualify for a mortgage, or you wanted to qualify for a business loan or startup or something, and you thought, oh, I'll never qualify. Just go and do the paperwork and research, put it in. You never know what magic's going to happen for you, because remember, we're in a 25 year that says faith, 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 faith. Have faith, number 1. So that is for number 1s. Now, those of you who are in a 2 year, you're in a blue year. I'm just going to try and turn this little cardboard around to give you a white background. There you go. You are in a 2 blue year, and this bottle is called the moon. And in a 2 year, you tend to maybe not be seen as valuable as the sun, but you know the earth cannot survive without the light of the moon and what the moon's purpose is. So in a 2 year, you're not as upfront and out there as you are in a 1 year. You're a little bit more quietly working in the background, getting the job done. And blue is about emotion. So in a 2 year, you really deal with emotions, especially around partnerships, because now you're not one person, now you're 2 people. And communication is key in a 2 year. When you put that with 25 and you have faith, you got to have faith that what you speak, what comes out your mouth, is meant to come out. Trust that process. In a 2 year, you might sometimes use the legal system as well to sort out a couple of issues for you. Just have faith that whatever you need, whatever support you need, or advice and guidance, professional help, it will be there for you. You're going to be okay. How are we doing so far?
love it.
Okay, now we come to a 3 year. I'm in a 3 year, and can you see the color I'm wearing? Because it's my color for this year. There we go. So I'm in a 3 year, and this one is actually called Jupiter. Now, symbolically, and you know, Anita, you like your astrology. Symbolically, Jupiter represents expansion and growth and breaking limitations and daring to go out and be bold and brave and all of that. So this is the year where things for people in a 3 year are going to expand, especially finances and business and visibility, and you know, just and the best way to embrace the energy of Jupiter is you must be very vigilant for when you play small or you say no to opportunities, because that, you know, everything is leading to something. There's like this, you first feel like you climb a few steps as you go into a 3 year, and then suddenly you find you're on an escalator, next thing you're on this lift and you're just zooming up, and next thing you're on a rocket. It kind of has those stages, but at each stage you have to try and say yes and turn up for what's in front of you, and it will lead you to some really, really wonderful things.
Moira, before you go on, can I ask you, you know, you said it's your number, and how do you feel about that, and how are you working with that color? That's one of the things
I am scared as shit, actually, because I have just moved to this lovely little cottage, near Niagara. I'm 3 blocks walking out the door this way to the river, and 3 blocks that way, and I'm at the lake. And I've
Nice.
got this lovely little sense of early retirement energy. So this bottle says you're not retiring, Moira. Forget it. You've got work to do. So that's why I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm living in this small little village in my little cottage, happy with my dogs and my garden. And this bottle says, nah, there's a world garden out there for you to go and toil and work in. So, yeah, I'm having to come to terms with that.
So,
Well,
so each year, so if this year's your third year, the next year's going to be your fourth year, and then your
Exactly. Yes.
fifth. Okay, okay.
We
So
follow the
last year would have
cycle.
been my, okay. So I think I'm number 4 if I calculated
You
right.
are full. Yeah, you are the
So
next.
I was 3 last year.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, interesting.
And I launched Jump Into It.
No, it's accurate. Is that how it would? Because then 2025 would have been 8.
Yeah.
So it's just going up one
Yeah,
every
but the
like
energies
December.
changed. You remember, because 25 of these colors, 24 was different colors.
Oh,
So
right,
these are
Exactly.
slightly
That's what
because
I
the
was
different
thinking.
shapes
influence of the,
and
okay,
interpretation. Yeah, yeah. These colors influence
interesting.
this. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because that's not
Okay.
the 2024 color. That's
yeah.
right.
No.
So,
That's right.
Last
That's what I
year
okay.
was
was,
thinking. That wasn't your energy
Yeah.
probably
and
last.
to be honest with you, my students that I mentored throughout the year, we have a monthly card group that we get together, my prediction students. And there were 3 of them in a 3-year, and they had a hell of a difficult year. So in
Oh,
2024, everything to do with relationships and money just went down the tubes. They all struggled. And so
Okay.
in 24 was a love and money year. This year you're in a faith year. So those in a 3-year this year are not going to have that kind of dip, because the energies are different for people in a 3-year. So every time you hit that cycle of 1 to 9 in your life, it's going to be different, because you'll have a different
So
energy.
I'm so happy your number 3 is 2025 because you don't want to live the
I didn't want, no,
2024.
my son was in a 3-year last year, and boy,
Yeah.
did he have a hard time. And then this year he stepped into a 4-year, and from day 1 in January, poof, 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 everything's falling into place, everything's shifting. He's just, there's a new job coming up for him, there's a new home coming up for him. I mean, just everything suddenly is tripling, because in a Jupiter year, it's a 3-year. Everything triples if you allow it to.
Oh,
Yeah. So let's
interesting.
have a look.
Okay.
So Gabrielle, you're in a 4-year, right? So
Yeah.
you are in yellow and very, very deep turquoise. In fact, it is the darker version upside down of 25. Can you see that?
wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Yin and
and
yang.
it's called Uranus, the planet Uranus.
Uranus.
Sorry,
Right.
whenever I get this one, I just apologize to people up front. I'm sorry. Uranus is crap. It's my ruling planet. I'm Aquarian, and I struggle with this one so much. But what I do know about Uranus is it is there to shake and stir you up and put a lightning in your bum to get you moving in a direction you need to be. But why? Because 4 are the 4 cornerstones, new foundations that have to be placed. So in a 4-year, people move homes, they change jobs, they change careers, they change the approach they have to their health, or if they've been ignoring their health, they change that. And 4 brings very unexpected events. And when they come, don't panic, because remember, it's a year of faith. Everything
Mm.
that turns you upside down in 2025 is not to hurt you and put you on your head and give you a headache. It is to get you facing the right direction. There's a lot of direction in this year, and you've got to have faith that where the universe is taking you, my darling, this year, that is where you're meant to be, okay? Just have faith. It's going to be okay.
I had a bumpy 2024, but you know what? I do feel that a lot planting the seeds that things like are going to
Yeah.
explode. But the point about being controlled, what you can control and what you can't control.
Yeah. Don't control anything is my advice. The minute you do, Uranus is just going to send a lightning bolt down to you. Just be in the flow of life. Life is on your side. And people forget
Mhm.
that, we think, oh my God,
Right.
I've had such a hard life and things have been so difficult for me. And no, life is on your side. You just weren't listening. This is the year
Yeah.
to listen. And, turquoise, you've got 2 helpings of turquoise, which is about intuition and spiritual strength and leadership. It's there. And there sits 2 yellows, which is about joy. So this is your year to finally figure out what makes you happy and do that for the rest of your life.
Love it. Yes. And I
Well,
said
you know
too.
what? That's my mission for this year. It is. No coincidences here, why we're having this conversation and why you're bringing this to the forefront, just so that we can embrace it with faith.
Well, there's a lot of predictions out there that's full of doom and gloom. You could just go YouTube and look at what psychics and mediums are saying, difficulty. And the thing is, what I love about color mirrors is it tells you, even if there is going to be difficulties and betrayals and kind of, stuff happening, there's a way to navigate around that. And that's what that faith bottle is. So whatever's happening to you in whichever year you're in, if you work with faith, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
You're
Like
going to
that.
be okay.
Okay, very excited. Keep
Going with
going.
the flow. Going with the flow.
Okay, who is in a 5-year? You are green. Beautiful. It's a beautiful,
Ooh,
like an emeraldy,
that's a beautiful
beautiful
color.
green color.
Yes.
Yeah. This is called the planet of communication. It's Mercury. People in a 5-year find also change is big. I find last year, people in a 5-year, there were networking opportunities, there was linking with other people, there was this go out there and get them kind of attitude. I feel for people in a 5-year this year, things are a little quieter, a little still. So it just feels like you don't have to go rah, rah, rah and market your ass off to get clients into your business and make money. This is about allow the faith of 25 to be your attraction factor. Allow the strength you have in allowing, giving permission for control to go and just staying. This is the color of your heart chakra. So being in your heart and allow that energy to just automatically go out and do the marketing for you. So there's a lot of faith that has to come, faith and trust that comes in almost doing nothing and not spending too much money on marketing and panicking that kind of part of your business and just being you, being in faith, being happy because here's the thing, the happiest energy that you can put around you is actually your working tool, is your marketing tool. People want to be around happy people. So when you're happy, you're going to attract clients and your money is going to get better. So in a green year, you get to practice that.
Yeah. That's my son's color. That's my son. Yeah.
That's my ruling planet, Mercury. I'm the communication planet.
Yeah. So of course, this is a year that you want to accept speaking gigs and opportunities to be on podcasts like these, but it might be you need to start a podcast. You need to start some kind of communication program that you could be talking to people and making it, and promoting yourself just through the art of wanting to communicate and connect with people. There's in a 5-year, you long for a connection. You look for your tribe. You look for people and that are similar to you. And yeah, so it's kind of like looking for a global family and global connection. So I always say to people, don't wait for others to invite you. Start it yourself. So in a 5-year, start a group, that has a theme and a purpose that you enjoy and invite people into it and nurture them and mentor them. So this is definitely a year where you can also tap into the skills you have and turn it into a mentorship program. So don't just do what you do, teach what you do.
Interesting.
Wow, very powerful message. Yes. On to number 6, the big drum roll. Okay. For all those number 6.
Pink,
those are pretty colors.
My 6, by the way, is gone pale at the bottom. The pink has gone out of it. The top, it should be top and bottom pink, but I don't have another one to show you. With me. So yeah, it's very interesting. So 6 is Venus. And of course, this is the planet, as Anita knows, planet of love. And pink is the color of love and money. So whenever you are in a 6-year, things to do with love and money can turn a little topsy-turvy, but again, it's just to, again, tip you on your head. Think about the 6 symbol and how the circle is at the bottom It's like tipping you out, tipping you on your head, throwing out what doesn't work for you and embracing what does. If you're in a 6th year, you want to be doing something like what I offer, which is love and money boot camps. You want to be studying your finances and getting a better relationship with money. Very important that that you change in a 6th year how you communicate in your relationships, but how you communicate with money. Okay, I'm actually going to give not just year 6 as a test now. Let's give all of you a little test. Did you know I'm going to do a test tonight? I didn't know either. It just happened. So here we go. I want you, when you're all finished with this call, to go and open your handbags, and find your wallet or your purse, whatever you call it. And I want you to look at that wallet and purse and say, ask yourself, does this wallet and purse say that you love money? Do you think money appreciates being in that wallet and purse? All right. So the idea here is, it's an exercise I do in my boot camp. I find that there's some of the students who do this. They hold up wallets and they take photographs of and put it in the Facebook chat group in between classes, because it's an 8-week program, right? And they put pictures up of purses with unicorns on them. And I'm like, how can your money be happy in a unicorn purse? Children have a purse that has unicorns on it. So you need to get a grown-up purse and have your money feel like it can be responsible and managed by an adult. A black purse, it just swallows money. So a black wallet, especially men have a lot of black wallets, right?
Yeah. I thought red was doing that. I heard red does that. So I moved away from my red and I went to black because I thought it was like the casino. If you're in the black or you're in the red.
I thought red was a good color for money, though, according to Chinese.
Yes, red is a very good color. Pinks, corals, golds, yellows, happy colors. They're very good colors. And the thing about a black wallet is it's hiding. You're hiding your money. Your money feels hidden, like it can't come out and have fun and play. It's grieving, it's mourning, it's death. Ditch the black. And sometimes there's not a lot of color available for them. They always complain when they're on my workshops. But I say to them, just put some color paper in there, so when you open it, you see some colors. It's like line it with some soft tissue color or some.
My credit cards are kind of colorful.
Yeah. So that's homework. But especially if in a 6th year, you want to know, are you showing your money you love it and you appreciate it and that you value it, or are you hiding it away, and are you giving it energy that doesn't say it can work for you? And because that's one of the biggest thing we as entrepreneurs have, is how do you get your money to work for you? We're so busy working hard to get money in. So the first step is check in with your relationship with money. Very important. And your purse, your wallet is going to tell you what it is.
Okay. Great insight. Thank you, Moira. I think we're all going to be rushing over to our personal. This is the time to get on Amazon and start pushing out and selling pretty wallets.
I should start a line.
The Moira collection.
Yes, that's
all right.
Very good idea.
Let's go to year 7, because I'm just aware of our time goals, and you're very generous with your time. So year 7 is Neptune, and it's turquoise. And of course, when you've got 25 next to it, now you've got 3 lots of turquoise and 1 fraction of the yellow. So in a 7 year, it tends to be something a little bit more spiritual, a little bit more self-seeking. This is a year where you want to attend that Reiki class or that drumming class or that kind of wacky woo-woo stuff that people do, because it's a year that your spirit wants to be nourished. This is where your spirit wants to be fed and watered and walked and stretched and come up for air. If you're already kind of self-aware and you've done a lot of development work, this is a really good year to look at how can you give back through maybe teaching or writing a book, or again doing some form of communication from the heart. That's what turquoise is, communication from the heart. This year, you guys are in 7 years, you have so much turquoise, you may have that moment with your money where you feel, am I sinking or swimming? Because there's a lot of water energy. It feels like the tides turn, and water element is going to be a very strong feature for you. But don't worry, because in the Chinese, and this is something else I include in my predictions, turquoise energy will be balanced by the wood snake. We have the wood snake, and it relates to the tree of life. Think Adam and Eve, think the Garden of Eden, think the tree of knowledge. So that will stabilize those in a 7-year, that wood energy.
Oh, okay. Because there was
Right.
turquoise in the number 4 too. So that's
Yeah.
where but it was balanced with yellow, which was the joy. So
Yeah, 7
that's
is
where
a
the
lot more
spiritual,
turquoise.
yeah, so that's very heavy in the
Yeah.
spiritual
A lot of
communication, nurturing.
yeah.
So
And if you think
interesting.
about, if you love astrology, so you think about Neptune. Neptune is a planet of illusions and delusions and veils and mystery, and so you kind of want to embrace that energy. You kind of, if someone says, "Oh, let's go to the flotation tank," and you've never been to one, you just go do it. Go try something new and different. So for 7s, that's
Okay.
very important. Yeah. Right, let's move on to 8. And this is for you.
Color.
Is Anita, is violet. You're in a violet year, you're in a Saturn year, you're in that Saturn return energy year. Now, when I hold up the 25, the yellow and turquoise to the violet, how does that make you feel, Anita?
Woozy.
Ah,
I don't
I'm finding
know.
a little unsettling, actually.
It
a little
is a
unset.
little
Good.
like,
Good. That's
yeah.
exactly what it feels like. And I'm glad that you picked that up, because what you were saying, Anita, according to astrology, the next 2 years is supposed to be about some abundance growth coming in for you, money getting better. Yes, all you have to do is, if you have faith, because 8 is the number of abundance. But Saturn says it takes its time. It's not an instant, like, press a button and poof, everything's done for you. You have to work a little bit at it. So in an 8 year, you got violet energy, which is a slightly slower pace. So that you don't hear, you really want to stay in faith. You don't want to push things to happen when you think they need to happen. Time is not going to be on your side this year. If you do that, you need to follow through methodically with everything that presents itself. Follow through, let it take its time. You don't want to take the cake out the oven before it's finished baking, and you spent all that time preparing it, getting it in the oven, and boof, it comes out, and now it flops and it's gone. You can't, and you have to throw and start again. It's that kind of energy in an 8 year. Just take things slowly and methodically. The other thing about 8 is the symbol of 8. This is the one where there's 2 circles joining together. So it really symbolically talks about a mirror, looking in the mirror. So in an 8 year, there's a lot of deep reflection. In an 8 year, you learn to not blame other people for things. You look into the mirror and go, why did I create that? And you take responsibility for it and go, it was my fear that created that, or it was my lack of faith that created that, or I try to control that too much. And so you take responsibility and go, no one did anything to me, actually. I'm the creator of my life. So that's what violet does. Violet reminds you that you are a divine creator. You have the power to create everything in your life. Nothing is done to you, and there's no one to blame. And you take responsibility. And when you get that, nothing can stop you. Then time will speed up, and boof, you'll be at the end line in no time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's true. A lot of what you're saying is true for regardless of the number, but as you said, there's more of a focus of that on that for you for the when it lands on your
And
number.
especially, so now when you look at it, does it feel easier?
Little bit.
Yeah.
Glad it's not me.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't thinking. So there
Yeah.
is going to be some uncomfortableness just by the way, those two come together. And so how would you work with those colors? Do you just
You
I
need
know
to,
I know what I
yeah,
normally would do, but I'd like to
yeah.
hear what you say you do.
You bathe in this bottle, you get hold of some violets,
Oh, I see.
flowers, you wear violet, you kind of bring in that energy.
Okay.
The thing with an 8 year is it wants to set you up for success financially, and it's about abundance. And abundance is not just money, it's love and joy and money. It has that 3-prong approach, as I always call it, which gets the wheel of fortune turning. So in an 8 year, you can examine yourself. Is my relationships the way I want them to be? Is my money how I want it to be? And and am I happy? Am I actually doing things that give me joy? Because the violet is the opposite to yellow. It's the complementary color, right? So if you look at 25, there sits that yellow saying, hey, before you go into any kind of deep mental downward spiral, because violet can be about feeling depressed and mentally challenged, that yellow says step into joy. That's how you deal with an 8-year. But it is Anita, if I'm honest, these two together tells me you're going to have a deeply, profoundly spiritual adventure this year, and just be open to it. It's like, it feels like next level stuff. It's like you're being prepared for when you go into your 9-year in 2026, and then in 2027 you go into that 1 year and you have a fresh start. So it feels like there's this wave of and you're right, the next 2 years are very important for you. Yeah.
I'm scared and excited.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well, you're the one with the violet background too. I think that's interesting. So should, when you say embrace the color, like we're talking nail polish, clothing. Yeah, because I noticed that your nail polish is violet, and I'm thinking that's for a color entrepreneur, there's no coincidence there.
No, yeah, I've got mine it's actually blue, because I've just come out of a 2-year. So I ended the year on a blue note. And but December I wore coral to prepare me for this year. So I just wanted to dip a little bit back into last year's blue to calm me, because this Jupiter is like, okay.
So much you got to come out of your retirement. That's it, Moira. We want you back.
I got to come out and work. Okay, so yeah, the 9-year, for those in a 9-year, there sits Mars. So you have a double whammy of 9, because 2025 is a 9 energy, but you're also in a 9-year. So there's this doubling up of red and orange energies. Now, red is fantastic because it energizes you. It literally puts a fire under you and gets you going. Think fireworks, lots of celebration, lots of opportunities to, cast your eyes to the sky to see the fireworks. And then the orange underneath is creativity. So there's a lot of activation of creative ideas and thinking. In a 9-year, you don't just think of what you want to do in 1 year. You think long term, because you are getting ready for the next cycle of 1 to 9 in 2026. So this is definitely a year to finish off things that you no longer want to take with you next 9-year phase, but also think about what would you like to be doing. It's a lovely year for endings and beginnings. Absolutely love this one. And then if you put that one next to the 25,
not as bad as number 8, but it's better. It's better than number.
And remember what I said earlier, this is Ukraine and Russia's flag colors and the war coming to an end. So literally, if you are in a bad time financially or emotionally or legally or whatever's going on, you know that in 9-year with that 25 energy, what's going to happen is the war will come to an end. It really will come to an end. So there's a lot of hope in a year 9 for things to turn out amicably. And again, you gotta have faith.
Gotta have
Mars, by the way, for those who are interested, this bottle is called Mars, and Mars is very masculine. So there's a lot of lovely masculine get down there and do it energy. Yeah. So there we go, my angels. I hope that was useful.
Wow. Thank you so much. So 2025, just to summarize, it's going to be, there's joy, but turmoil, betrayal, but don't focus on the macro, focus on the micro, yourself, and the number and the colors that match with you, and have faith that things will work through, and not to leverage control, but more faith. And I love what you said, where the opposite of control is faith.
Yeah. If you're out of faith and you're going to stress because you're trying to take control, make things happen. And sometimes you just need to surrender into the flow of life, because that turquoise energy in 25, it will take you where you need to go. You're going to ride the wave. I would love to just share with you if you're interested in it. And as with me, everything is a calling. You'll feel if you want to be there. April, I'll be doing another 8-week Love and Money Bootcamp. This is not for the faint-hearted. You really, if you are seriously want to look at that wallet and purse of yours and decide, hang on, I need to change this and everything else in my relationship with money, you want to be on this bootcamp. we focus on your wounded child, running your money, why are you in debt, why are you in credit card debt, how can you get out of it, using energy. So that's what the boot camp's about, and that will be in April. And then the whole Color Mirrors family are very excited. I've been with Color Mirrors for 24 years. And for the very first time ever, we are doing an international summit online. We used to do these conferences and retreats where people from all over the world would get together. The first time we're doing an online event, and it's being organized by our sister organization called the Foundation of Colors. So there is a summit, and it's free. And all we want to do is, over 3 days that coincides with Color International Month, is for you to learn about color and the various ways people are using color in their businesses, their practices. We've got 3 keynote speakers. Melissa Jolly, the founder, is one of them. And then we have our Canadian urban Buddhist monk, Bhante Saranapala. His branding is the urban Buddhist monk. He's actually going to be the speaker on day 3. So we're very thrilled to have him. And, we're really very lucky to have gotten him. It's a free event, and the website is FOC for Foundation of Colors, FOC Summit. summit.com, and it's free. If you go on there, you'll see all the keynote speakers, all the subject is going to happen, and you can pre-register your name, and the event will be for free. There is a VIP package if you want some extra things, but that's entirely up to you. All the information is on there, and that's happening in March.
March. Okay, wonderful. Okay. We'll add that to the bottom part of the podcast. So if anybody wants to get more information, we'll add it there with the links.
Yeah, and can you see the coral coming up for me? I'm one of the speakers at this event.
It's wonderful.
I started working with the Foundation of Colors, going, I'll just help you pull it together. And the next thing, can you speak? And I'm like, oh, good.
You'll do fabulous. You'll do great.
Yeah, you'll do fabulous because you're all aligned with the right colors.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the mood.
Very good.
I'm trying to get into.
So I guess I'm gonna have to wear yellow and a deep turquoise.
Yeah, we'll alternate between them. Just
alternate?
Go with turquoises and yellows. Yeah, and yellow is a difficult color to wear sometimes. So you maybe just
sometimes.
And just have a scarf with you, and just and put yellow flowers around your house, or paintings and pictures of yellow, just to keep reminding you, I need to focus on joy. I need to focus on joy.
So go to Victoria's Secret, get some nice yellow and purple underwear.
I don't know if yellow gets anyone in the mood, but you can try.
No.
Well, gold lace. Couldn't yellow be gold though? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah. I mean, with the Faith bottle is pale gold at the bottom, so yeah, go for golds.
Go for the gold.
Go for the gold.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Moira. I really appreciate it. It's been very interesting, as always inspiring, always insightful. And thank you again for listening to Jump Into It podcast. We look forward to another session with another fabulous guest. And also you can connect with us through Facebook, Instagram, have some conversation engagement there. We also Jump Into It Breakthrough Marketing Guide. It's available on Amazon as well as on many different retail platforms. So thank you again for listening. Until next time.
Jump into it and turn your vision into reality. Get the Jump Into It Breakthrough Marketing Guide, now available on Amazon, ebook, paperbook, or as an audiobook on your favorite platform. It's the perfect resource or gift for anyone ready to ignite fast wins and lasting success. Don't wait. Make your move now.